What's going on? Thought I'd make a little video today. We've been getting a lot of rain. Got some work to do, but the rain's kind of messing that up too. I've been hunting a lot here recently, and one thing I don't get to do in the hunting season is practice shooting my bow as much as I like to. I could practice more, but I work, got a couple of kids got to take care of, and I'm lucky enough to have a woman that'll watch them and take care of them while I do hunt and let me hunt as much as I do. But all that being said, work, and I like to work out a little bit too. And if you're practicing a lot, you're practicing more, you're hunting less, hunting more, practicing less. You kind of got to do what you can. So I don't get to practice as much in hunting season. When it's off season, I like to shoot a lot. I like to shoot my bow a little bit every day if I can. I've shot a couple hundred arrows a lot of days. Some days just a couple. Most of the time I'm not shooting, 20 arrows a day. We used to have an indoor range about 20-30 minutes away from where I live, and that was cool to go to last year. I'd like to go up there and shoot some, especially on rainy days or whatever, but they closed up. Anyway, I just like to get out the bow, shoot it a little, make sure I'm still shooting good. I'm sure it's still shooting good. It'll do its part if I do mine. But something I like to do is when you're coming in and out the tree a lot, taking your bow in and out the truck a lot. A lot of times I keep my peep and all tied in, but sometimes it can still move a little bit. So I like to check that, make sure it feels good. One thing I actually use is I like to measure mine to keep a reference. And what I do is I measure from the top of the D-loop to where I have it, the center of the peep, where the serving that's tying it in meets the string. And I actually use one of these old carpenter rules. This was my great-grandpa's, and he was a carpenter. This thing's like 50 years old, so, I do carpentry work too, and I'm in and out of Lowe's and all of that, but I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if they still make these just because I'm never looking for them. I don't know how many I got, 4 or 5 of them. I'm sure you can still get them somewhere, but why I like to use these over the tape measure is, there's no give in it like a tape, so I can kind of just set that corner of this right on my D-loop and measure up, show you what I'm talking about. Now it's going to be a little bit harder because I usually like to set it down. Also, you always want to measure it on the same side of the string if you do this, to be exact, because the way your D-loop's tied, it'll be a little higher and lower on the one side. But I set it right there on top. And just look where my peep's tied in, where it meets the string. Measure it, and it looks good to me. But I've actually checked it before and moved, had them move like a 1/4 inch or something just hunting, which ain't gonna make a huge difference, but especially not most of your hunting situations, 20, 30 some yards, but if you want to stay real accurate, consistent, that, 1/4 inch, your peep moving at longer shots, you know, it will make a little difference a lot of times. So anyway, I'm just gonna take my quiver off here because I don't really shoot with it on the bow anyway. Very few times have I shot a deer with it on the bow. But you know, I'm gonna throw a few arrows out the door down there. I got about a 60-yard shot here. Kind of dark in the house. It's raining out there, so I stand right in here where I won't get I hate getting my bow and all that, man. Sometimes when you're hunting, it just happens, but if I can help it, just cause it's just like a gun or anything, you know, it's just, you know, rust, so. Oh, getting a few arrows out here. But yeah, I like to shoot a little here and there, make sure it's still shooting well. Well, that one felt good. Oh, like I said, my pea pipe is 5 3/4 inches the way I measure it, which isn't very high compared to some people's, and I've seen people that's actually lower than mine. But you know, when I anchor, I kind of like to get right here and just drop my nose on the string. You know, a lot of people say you're supposed to be perfectly straight up and down or whatever, but you know, I think especially bow hunting, people get a little too caught up with that form stuff. It's definitely good to have a good repeatable form, something you can repeat, especially, you know, when you're out there hunting. But what works for you, and I've seen people shoot the bow a lot of different ways, and you know, what works for one person doesn't always work for the other. You know, I'm a nose shooter. I like to make the string make good contact with my nose, and then I can kind of feel where my anchor is the same place on my ear all the time. So I shoot a little bit longer draw length than some people. You know, they shoot these releases way up here and come off the corner of their mouth. You know, I've never shot like that. Never used a kisser. You know, they didn't have kissers when I've shot bows since I was little, and I'm gonna be 27 on the 11th, so, you know, about 11 days. But, you know, there's no right or wrong way. I've seen people shoot bows good a lot of different ways. The biggest thing is have just something. Of course, a bow can be too long or too short, but, you know, there's always, they say, measure your arm span, then divide by 2.5. Well, that's a starter, but that's not going to really tell you your correct draw length. because the way I feel is they can't tell you what your draw length is on paper. Because, okay, say they say my correct draw length's 28. Well, I shoot 28 and a half. But I shoot better with it. The way I hold the bow and all, and I feel too cramped is 28. Your correct draw length is the one you shoot the best with. I mean, to even think that's not right is kind of silly, you know. I mean, you shoot better with that one, but it's not right. No, of course it's right, you know. So just don't make it more complicated than it is. That's like, you know, I'm a big fan of Midwest Whitetail, Bill Winke and them. You know, clearly one of the best whitetail hunters probably ever been, you know, whitetail bow hunters. Now I know he's got awesome food plots and awesome laying the hunt and habitat. But that's part of it, you know. If you're not hunting food plots, you're hunting natural food or whatever you're doing. I mean, that's part of it. He knows how to raise deer, and he knows how to hunt them with a bow, and even if you know where they're going to be, that don't guarantee anything. So, but anyway, he's a big guy, man. He's 6'5", he shoots 32-inch draw, and some people are saying, oh, there's no way he needs over a 30-inch draw. Well, dude, there's one thing I can tell you right now. The monsters, you know, he kills, I think Bill Winke knows what draw length he needs. You know what I mean? How you going to question somebody like that? Especially if you want them bow techs that don't kill nothing, you in there killing a lot of paper. You know what I mean? You eating a lot of foam. Yeah, so it gets a little too technical, man. Just have fun with it, and you know what you shoot the best. And you got to be consistent. If it's not consistent, you might want a little help, and it could be some change to help you. You know, I've had to make a few slight changes through the years, but mostly just to come up, you know, shooting what felt good to me, and it's worked pretty good so far. But yeah, it gets a little complicated if you let it. Now, another thing, you know, I like to come up on the target. That's how I kind of get the balance and the bow. Feel like it's really balanced. I like to come up slow on it. And when I get on it, I don't really hold a long time like you see some people really hold on that thing forever. To me, when I'm on it, I start squeezing my trigger here, wrap my fingers around it, and just squeeze it. I don't see any point in really holding it for a lot of extra time. Some people shoot that way. Like I said, man, it's all about what works, you know. That's all this is. So this felt pretty good. I can see it pretty tight. Having a little bit of trouble seeing my mark out there because it's just the lightning all in here and it's not very bright outside, but I guess that's about it, man. I just want to talk about practice. I guess the only other thing I usually talk about some type product. I really got one thing new to talk about. Nah, let me get it here. I picked up some of these Under Armour wall hanger boots. Now, hunting gear. I never talked a whole lot about that. Stuff, now, like Under Armour, you know, it's high, it's expensive. And for a long time, I didn't even never try their stuff. Just because it was so much higher, I was like, you know, it's camouflage, you know, it's jackets, it's whatever. But I actually got one of their jackets on sale, and I mean like half off. And I was like, well, you know, it's definitely worth trying for that. And actually, man, the Under Armour stuff, it's like their jackets, especially if you're a bow hunter, they're really warm and not that thick, so they're still maneuverable, and they don't look like they'd be near as warm as they are. So it's kind of hard to understand how they make them as warm as they do. And they're quiet, maneuverable. Under Armour, they make great hunting stuff, man. Now it is high, it's hard to afford. I'm not somebody that can go out and buy a whole suit or nothing like that. Or I see people, you know, just change because I want to change camouflage patterns. Usually if I buy it, man, it's because I'm getting it on sale. I'm getting a pretty good deal. And if you can get a good deal on it, it's definitely worth it. Even if you don't, you definitely get some high quality gear. Like these boots, man, they feel like tennis shoes. And, you know, I won't wear, you know, I won't buy a pair of uncomfortable hunting boots. I like those. I've got Danners I wear. They're also uninsulated. And then when it gets cold, I usually wear my muck boots, insulated boots. But, anyway, yeah, it's great stuff. It is worth it. If you can get a good deal, for sure. So y'all might check it out, try it. You know, it also just depends how serious of a hunter are you. You know, if you're gonna be sitting out in the stand, you know, anytime in the cold, you know, 5-8 hours at a time, or even just a couple hours in the real cold, you want something that's gonna keep you warm. And like I said, they do a good job of, you know, if you layer up, you can still be maneuverable, and that really helps bow hunting. But yeah, guess I'll holler at y'all later. I think I'm gonna shoot me a few more arrows, and it looks like a pretty good group. I'd take them and show y'all, but it's raining hard in hell, and yeah. Recording this on my phone, it'd probably be soaked, so probably couldn't see nothing anyway. But good luck to y'all hunting, and like I said, first and foremost, just never quit having fun with it. That's what it's all about.